Dear students, today class is white matter of the cerebrum. The cerebral cortex will consist of two different types of tissues. One is the outermost layer, that is called gray matter. Is the outermost layer of the cerebral hemisphere is also called cerebral cortex. It consists of gray matter. The next one, deep through the cerebral cortex, is called white matter. The white matter will consist of bundles of myelinated nerve fibers and neuroglial cells. That neuroglial cells is mostly the oligodendrocyte cells. Next, move on to what is the difference between cerebrum and the spinal cord. The transverse section shows the spinal cord. It consists of inner gray matter, the outer is white matter. When compared to the cerebral cortex, the outer is gray matter and the inner is white matter. So this is the major difference between the spinal cord and the cerebrum. Next, move on to the white matter of the cerebral hemispheres. So the white matter of the cerebral hemispheres are three types. So one is the commissural fibers, another one is the association fibers, another one is the projection fibers. Let me see one by one. First we see the commissural fibers. What is commissural fibers? It's nothing but commissural fibers will interconnect the corresponding areas of two cerebral hemispheres. These are called commissural fibers. Next, move on to association fibers. The association fibers are connecting the adjacent gyri, the same regions, different regions in the same cerebral hemispheres is called association fibers. Next, we go for the projection fibers. What is projection fibers means? The projection fibers will connecting the cerebral cortex with the lower part of the brain. For example, brainstem, spinal cord in both the directions. These are called projection fibers. So first one is the commissural fibers, association fibers, projection fibers. The commissural fibers will connecting the corresponding areas of two cerebral hemispheres. The association fibers will connecting the different regions of the same cerebral hemispheres. The projection fibers will connecting the cerebral cortex with the spinal cord and the thalamus and brainstem. Let me see one by one. Commissural fibers, as I said, interconnect the corresponding regions of the two cerebral hemispheres. They are corpus callosum, anterior commissure, posterior commissure, fornix and hapanular commissure. Let me see one by one. First we see the corpus callosum. Okay. So this is the corpus callosum. The corpus callosum is the largest commissure present in the cerebral hemisphere. The corpus callosum, it comprises largest bundles of the nerve fibers. The nerve fibers will arise from the neocortex of the cerebral hemispheres and terminate in the corresponding opposite cerebral hemispheres. Where it lies means it lies in the longitudinal bottom of the longitudinal fissure. You can see the longitudinal fissure here. So the corpus callosum will lies in the bottom of the longitudinal fissure. So the corpus callosum will dividing into parts. Let we see the parts of corpus callosum. So this is the medial sagittal section of the cerebral hemispheres. So we can see clearly the parts of the corpus callosum. First one, this is the rostrum and genu and the body or trunk and splenium. So rostrum is a thin lamina of nerve fibers that connect the genu to the upper end of lamina terminalis. So this is called rostrum. Next one is genu. Genu, nothing but it is an anterior curved end, that is called genu. And next move on to body or trunk. This body or trunk which arches posteriorly and end as a thickened enlargement. The thickened enlargement is called splenium. So these are the parts of corpus callosum. One is the rostrum, genu, body or trunk, and the splenium. So when we tracing the fibers from the corpus callosum, it arches laterally, they forming the fibers. So this is the section of the corpus callosum, and you can see the fibers radiating from the corpus callosum. This is called genu of corpus callosum. From the genu, the fibers will goes forward into the frontal lobe, they forming a forceps minor. The fibers radiating from the genu forward, they forming the forceps major. And from the splenium, the fibers from the splenium, it goes backward, it runs backward into the occipital lobe, they forming the forceps major. So forceps minor is nothing but the fibers from the genu, it arches forward into the frontal lobe, they forming the forceps minor. And fibers from the splenium, it runs backward into the occipital lobe, they forming the forceps major. Next move on to the anterior commissure. The anterior commissure is situated in the anterior wall of the third ventricle. So this is the third ventricle, this is the anterior wall. So we can see the rounded spot, that is called the anterior commissure. It end at the upper end of lamina terminalis. The fibers passing through the commissure interconnecting the olfactory bulb of the two cerebral hemispheres. The anterior commissure, that is the fibers, will interconnect the olfactory bulb of the two cerebral hemispheres. Next move on to the posterior commissure. So the posterior commissure, it lies in the inferior lamina of stalk of pineal gland, immediately above the cerebral aqueduct of third ventricle. So this is the third ventricle. So this is the anterior wall of third ventricle, and this one is the cerebral aqueduct into the third ventricle. Next we move on to the fornix. So fornix is a prominent bundle. So before we are seeing the slide, I will show you another one. Yeah, this is the posterior commissure. You can clearly see here, this is the pineal body, and this is the superior lamina of pineal body, and this is the inferior lamina of stalk of pineal body. In the inferior lamina, we can see the posterior commissure here, and the superior lamina we having the hapanular commissure here. So this is the pineal body, and this is the pineal recess of third ventricle. Next we go for the fornix. So this is the fornix. This is the fornix. It is a prominent bundle of fibers seen in the medial aspect of the cerebral hemispheres. So it is made up of fibers arising from the hippocampus. So this is the hippocampus. So from the hippocampus, the fibers will arise and they forming the fornix. So the body of the fornix will suspended below the corpus callosum by a septum pellucum. So this is the body of fornix. So this slide will shows only the fornix. So we can correlate with this diagram with this medial aspect of the cerebral hemisphere. So this is the fornix lateral view. So this fornix will suspended below the corpus callosum by septum pellucidum. Okay. Now we can see the fornix, the separate fornix here. So this nerve fibers will arising from the alveus. A thin layer of white matter will covering the surface of the hippocampus, and then converge to form the fimbriae. So this is the fimbriae. They converge to form the fimbriae of the hippocampus. The fimbriae or the posterior column is called crus of the fornix. This is called crus of fornix, and the two crura, the crus of fornix arching below the corpus callosum. The two crura then come together. So this is one crura and this is one crura. The two crura will come together. They form the body of fornix. This is the two cruras come together. They forming the body of fornix. In the middle, the two crura are interconnected by a fibers passing from one to other. It is called hippocampal commissure or commissure of the fornix. So the fibers will passing through one crura to the other crura. They forming the commissure. That commissure is called hippocampal commissure or commissure of fornix. This is called commissure of fornix. So this commissure of fornix is actually join the two hippocampus. So the commissure of fornix actually they join the two hippocampus. This is on hippocampus and this one on hippocampus. The crura of the fornix will join the two hippocampus. They forming the anterior end of the body. This is called anterior end of the body of fornix. The anterior end of the body of fornix again will dividing into two. That is called anterior columns. That is columns of fornix. Anterior column of fornix or pillars. Each anterior column of fornix, it turns downward just in front of the interventricular foramen. Here interventricular foramen, and pass through the hypothalamus to reach the mammillary body. So the two column of fornix, each anterior column of fornix, it turns downwards in front of interventricular foramen, and it passes through the hypothalamus to reach the mammillary. Finally, the column of fornix will reach the mammillary body. So this is the structure of fornix. Next, move on to hapanular commissure. So there is a hapanular commissure. It is a small bundle of nerve fibers that cross the middle of the superior stalk of the pineal gland. The commissure is associated with the hapanular nucleus. The commissure will associated with the hapanular nucleus. This is the hapanular nucleus. Here we can see the hapanular nucleus. Here we can see the hapanular commissures. Next, move on to association fibers. The association fibers will connecting the various cortical regions of the same cerebral hemispheres. There are two types. One is the short association fibers or otherwise called U fibers. The short association fibers again will dividing into two types. One is the intracortical fibers, another one is the subcortical fibers. What is intracortical fibers means? The intracortical fibers is located in the deeper portion of the white matter. So this is the short association fibers. The short association fibers will present in the deep portion of the white matter. That commissure is called, that fibers are called intracortical fibers. This is a subcortical fibers. What is subcortical fibers means? Located just beneath the cortex. So this is the subcortical fibers located just beneath the cerebral cortex, and this one is the intracortical fibers. This is the intracortical fibers. It is located deep portion of the white matter. Next we go for the long association fibers. So the long association fibers connecting more widely separated areas. So the short association fibers will connecting the adjacent gyri. So that's why it is U in shape. You can see the all short fibers will be U shaped. But we go for the long association fibers. It connect more widely separated areas. So the types will be this uncinate fasciculus. So first one is the uncinate fasciculus. So this is the green colored fibers This is called uncinate fasciculus. The uncinate fasciculus will connecting the inferior frontal lobe gyri with the anterior temporal lobe. So this is the frontal lobe and the inferior gyri with the temporal lobe. This is called uncinate fasciculus. Next one is the cingulum. See, this is the cingulum. The cingulum will be located within the cingulate gyri, and it is a white band will connecting the frontal lobe with the parietal lobe. The cingulate gyri, the cingulum will connecting the frontal lobe. So this is a frontal lobe and with the parietal lobe with the parahippocampal gyrus. So this is the parahippocampal gyrus here. So it connecting the frontal lobe with the parietal lobe. Next we go for the arcuate fasciculus. Yeah, so we can see the arcuate fasciculus here. This is called arcuate fasciculus. So this arcuate fasciculus, it sweeps around. Can you see the arcuate fasciculus here? It sweeps around the insula. This is the insula, and it sweeps around the insula and connects the superior and middle frontal convolutions with the temporal lobe. So it connects in the frontal lobe with the temporal lobe. Exactly where means it connects the superior and middle frontal convolutions. Superior and middle frontal convolutions with the temporal lobe. So this is the temporal lobe. This is called arcuate fasciculus. It lies above the insula. This is the insula. It lies above the insula. It sweeps around the insula and it reaches the temporal lobe. Next one is the superior longitudinal fasciculus. So the above the uncinate fasciculus, we can see the superior longitudinal fasciculus. The superior longitudinal fasciculus will connects the portion of the frontal lobe with the occipital and temporal areas. So this frontal, the superior longitudinal fasciculus, it connecting the frontal lobe with the parietal lobe and the temporal lobe. That is called the superior longitudinal fasciculus. Next we go for the inferior longitudinal fasciculus. Inferior longitudinal, can you see the inferior longitudinal fasciculus here? So this is the inferior longitudinal fasciculus. The inferior longitudinal fasciculus will connecting the temporal lobe with the occipital lobe. So this is the temporal lobe and this one is the occipital lobe. Will be connecting the temporal lobe with the occipital lobe. It is called inferior longitudinal fasciculus. Next we go for the occipitofrontal fasciculus. Occipitofrontal fasciculus, that is called, this is occipitofrontal fasciculus. Occipitofrontal fasciculus. That occipitofrontal fasciculus, it extends backwards from the frontal lobe, radiating into the temporal and occipital lobe. Radiating into the temporal and the occipital lobe. This is called occipitofrontal fasciculus. Next we go for the projection fibers. These are the fibers will connecting the cerebral cortex with the lower part of the brainstem and spinal cord in the both the directions. It consists of two fibers. One is the corticopedal fibers, that is afferent fibers. Another one is the corticofugal fibers, that is called efferent fibers. And next one is the internal capsule. Let me see one by one. The corticopedal fibers, it includes auditory radiation. So these are the corona radiata, the corona radiata and the fibers from the corpus callosum. So the various parts of the cerebral hemisphere taking the information and they forming the bundles. That bundle is called internal capsule. From these are the projection fibers will goes the lower part of the brain, that is called brainstem and spinal cord. You take the information from the cerebral cortex to this spinal cord. We'll see one by one. So the projection fibers, there are connects the cerebral cortex with the spinal cord and the brainstem. There are two types. One is the ascending fibers, another one is the descending fibers. The ascending fibers are conveying fibers to the cortex, that is called the thalamic radiation, that is connecting different thalamic nucleus with the different parts of the cortex. One is the optic radiation, another one is the auditory radiation. Next, descending fibers are corticofugal fibers. They are pyramidal fibers. In the pyramidal fibers, we can see two types. One is the corticospinal and corticobulbar, and the second one is the corticopontine, corticoreticular and corticorubular. These are the descending tracts, are the efferent tracts we can see in the internal capsule. So what is internal capsule? Internal capsule is we can briefly we can see here what is internal capsule. In the next class, the internal capsule is a separate topic for your next class. The thick band of projection fibers. The internal capsule is nothing but it is a thick band of projection fibers. It is V-shaped with its concavity directed laterally in a horizontal section. So can you see the internal capsule here? The blue colored area is the internal capsule. So it lies between the caudate nucleus and this thalamus and the lentiform nucleus, and its concavity is related to the lentiform nucleus. It is formed of this is anterior limb, and this is genu, and this is posterior limb. It consists of anterior limb, genu, and this is the posterior limb. We can clearly see in here. So this is the head of the caudate nucleus, and this is the thalamus, and this is the lentiform nucleus. So this anterior limb will present between the caudate nucleus and the lentiform nucleus. The anterior limb will consist of anterior thalamic radiation, frontopontine fibers, and this is the genu. What is genu? Is a curved and curved portion. The meeting point of anterior limb and posterior limb is called genu. The genu, it consists of corticonuclear tract, and corticonuclear tract alone the genu will having, and this is the posterior limb. The posterior limb will consist of corticospinal tract and the corticoruberal tract and the corticospinal tract lower limb, and this is the upper limb. And next one is the paretopontine, temporopontine and the occipitopontine fibers. So this is the posterior limb. The genu will lies between the anterior end of the thalamus and the lentiform nucleus,